Welcome Frienders, wir sind wieder back zu Starfield, zu unserer neuen Familie. Ninja. Und wir werden jetzt unsere Reviere markieren. Ein bisschen Credits nebenbei ist immer gut und vielleicht ein paar Disziplins töten. Vielleicht, wer weiß.
I think I got them.
So. Macht irgendwie Spaß. Ah, es wäre so cool, eine eigene Gang zu gründen. Irgendwie wäre das schon voll cool. So.
What I don't sell.
Was man nicht alles macht in der Familie. Was rennst du weg, Alter?
Maybe, but as soon as you started putting up striker gang sign, that crosses the line. You know how it is. Yeah, I'm not falling for that one. No, they didn't. Typical. The only one gonna get hurt here is you. I'm done talking to you. So either pay up, or you get shot resisting arrest.
That's the only language Neon Security seems to understand.
Enjoy your stay on Neon.
Each of our unique starships.
I want to learn how to play.
And you'll enter a world called
Miserate.
If this shit doesn't end soon, my man is not going to be happy.
Renn. Bevor sie uns wieder... Ah, dann. Ich hätte das zuerst machen sollen. So. Wir müssen da rauf. Muss ich sehen, finde ich. Wir müssen da rauf. Das ist Unterstand. Nein, das ist auch nicht das. Wir müssen... Da, Treppen. Gefunden. Alter. Okay, kurz Pause machen. Er muss echt mehr Fitness machen, das kann einfach nicht wahr sein.
Let's make this quick.
Yep.
Stop, junk.
gerade vergessen, dass A nicht springen ist. Sondern Y. Spät? Besser spät als nie, oder? Würde ich jetzt mal behaupten. Ah, okay. Wir werden uns mal kurz teilen.
Another one for me.
Mann, ich bin gerade... Jetzt nicht ruhig vorher schon umgehen können. Hey. Ist halt schwach. Armselig. Warte mal. Kann ich da auch was ändern? Nein. Okay, schade. Ah. Ich hab's drauf. Ich hab's einfach drauf, das ist
Wonder
unglaublich.
how many poor souls who couldn't make it in the Atlantis ended up
Boah,
working
sie
at
kommt gleich.
fisheries in New
Das ist cool. Nie wieder aus den Gefährten irgendwo verlieren. Hey Briggs, ich
I
hab was
think you're gonna
gemacht.
fit in well. Really well.
Ja, ich
You
bin
really
eingeladen.
kicked the hornet's nest. Good. Andrea's running point on grabbing the gun stash. I need you and Vogel to keep the disciples off balance.
Okay.
So we're finally doing this?
Ja.
It's time, Vogel. The gloves are off. Both of you, keep the collateral damage down if you can. But it's do or die. If people are in the wrong place at the wrong time, you might not have much choice. Gang fights are no holds barred, so make your peace with it.
Despite your flippant attitude towards innocent lives, Briggs, we intend to choose our targets with the utmost care.
You two coordinate whatever you need to. I have a request. I know this is asking a lot. Newell's Goods has some armor. Not mil-spec ranger gear or anything, but better than the cast-off clothes the strikers wear. So if you could, well, spring for some armor upgrades, maybe convince Newell to sell it to us. All the strikers owe you big time. Any credits it costs, I promise we'll pay you back, with interest. Now's the time for the strikers to make a comeback.
Dream of this.
You're going into danger.
Dann holen wir uns kurz. Ah, speichern.
I get you today.
So. Einmal gespeichert. Das wird gespeichert haben. Jetzt gehen wir mal zum optionalen Ziel. Beschaffen Panzer. Da müssen wir hin.
Fully stocked and ready to sell. Welcome to Newell's. If you're looking for any specific goods, Rosa and I guarantee we'll beat Sieghart's lousy selection every time.
Wer ist Rosa?
Rosa Newell is my wife.
Oh.
We own this place together. Sieghart's Outfitters? Oh, come on. You don't have to pretend you haven't been to his poor excuse for a store off of Bayou Plaza. I understand that. But when you're dealing with a snake like Siegert, normal commerce practices go right out the window. That man has absolutely no respect for the business community on Neon. He skips merchant meetings and refuses to participate in any of our group buys. Worst of all, he pays off Neon's security to keep his place safe. By standing up to the lowlifes who come in here expecting me to just hand over all of my money, I refuse to be run out of business or be forced to pay protection. A lot of the merchants in Neon belong to a small merchants alliance. It's nothing formal. It's just a bunch of us getting together to air our grievances and watch each other's backs. Everyone has a choice. Some are simply more difficult than others. The only way to fight Neon security is if all the merchants unify and push back on these unreasonable rules. Anyway, sorry. I know I can get a little intense about these things. If you'll forgive the outburst and have a look around, I'm sure you'll find something you might want to buy.
Ja.
I'd say the majority of the guards are rotten, and the few who aren't simply take a paycheck and look the other way. They have Neon completely under their control. The Freestar Collective's own security doesn't even maintain a presence here. If it wasn't for the Freestar Rangers outpost, there wouldn't be a shred of justice in this entire city.
Ben de wüsste.
I arrived in Neon almost, 20 years ago? I had gotten a job at Xenofresh through a friend and started working on the loading docks. After a few years, they moved me up to Kazanbas processing, and that's where I met Rosa for the first time. She was my supervisor, but we hit it off right away. It wasn't long before we decided to quit Xenofresh, get married, and start our own business. We've been in love ever since. Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be extremely helpful.
Ja.
I honestly
So
don't know
siehst
what
du.
to say.
Rabatte.
Yes, of course. On behalf of Rosa and I, thank you. Just be careful when you're dealing with Siegert. He can be surprisingly unreasonable when he's cornered. The first time I brought up the subject, we got into a huge argument. Siegert said he had every intention of paying Neon security and that it was final. After that, I tried to speak to him a few times, but he's always been too busy to spend the time to sit down and have a decent conversation. It's obvious he has no
Was ist mit
intentions
Sarah
of
ganze
talking to me
Zeit?
anymore. I honestly don't know what I did to make him so angry with me. Oh, dear Lord. Did Briggs put you up to this? All these gangs are a menace. I don't want to have any part of it.
Warum verkaufst du nichts? Das Bricks ist auch nicht durchgedrückt hat, muss er das wert sein. Wenn die Strikers nicht für die Chance gleich sagen, wenn die dies besiegen, dann leiden alle.
Because they're bottom-feeding parasites. They steal and murder, and security couldn't care less. Us businessmen have to draw a line somewhere, and this is mine.
Das Bricks ist auch nicht.
I've known Briggs for ages, and he's not the problem. It's people like Hatchet and Andrea. They're dangerous. They are definitely the lesser evil. All right already, all right. You pay and I'll send Briggs his armor. But this is a one-time deal. I don't want anything to do with this madness after that. That's not a discount. That's robbery.
Okay.
In my experience, the right offer is always worth waiting for.
Okay, überzeugen.
If you don't like
Hoe
it,
je beamt
find
die.
someone else to deal with. You know what? I like you. Maybe we can work something out. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm not an unreasonable person, you know. Sorry, but I can't. No discount. Take it or leave it. I'll send the armor to Matt.
Boah, wer bringt mir nicht mehr Geld zu?
James, I don't want you to get upset, but Administrator Bayou came by while you were out. Welcome to Newell's. Let me know if you need help with anything. Do I sound that awful? I didn't even realize. Terrible, just terrible.
What
You'll
the
have to excuse me. With all the ruckus my husband's been making at the Merchant Alliance meetings, it's difficult to get any rest. Poor old man has himself mixed up in a foolish crusade against Dietrich Sieghart, who he's angry at for paying off Neon security. He runs Sieghart's
Dietrich.
Outfitters. It's right outside the spaceport terminal. I suppose you could say he's our only real competition. If you ask me, he isn't such a terrible person. Please don't tell James I said that.
Oh, du sicherst also jeden Abend, wenn du Überstunden machen sollst? Ich verstehe dich.
For protection, I assume. They apparently target certain businesses with some type of safety assurance fee scheme. We've been spared that indignity so far, but it's absolutely disgraceful this kind of thing is happening.
Ja.
It's a little group James formed with some of the other vendors on Neon. I'd call it more of a support group, because all they do is sit around and complain about how hard it is to run a business here. I don't believe he is, no. I think my husband has Dietrich all wrong. He's probably doing what he has to do to survive. Just, please don't tell James I said that. I don't want him to think his own wife is doubting him. It's just a feeling that I have about Dietrich. I'm sure he's paying off Neon security because he has no choice. I can't afford to fight back like my husband expects. I have no idea. Anytime the subject comes up, it turns into an argument. Frankly, he's so obsessed with this Dietrich situation, I don't think he's listening to me at all.
Oh, ja,
Well,
ja.
thank you. I can't remember the last time a total stranger walked into our store and offered to help.
Eigentlich sicher gar nicht.
It would be so lovely to see my James happy again. He used to smile at me all the time, you know. Now all I see is worry on his face. I suppose you can speak with him about it if you like. But perhaps you'd like to browse our store a bit before you do?
Ist es der Ernst jetzt?
Oh, he'll be so upset for me telling you this. But it's such a funny story. I can't resist. James and I used to work on the Chasm Bass line at Xenofresh. We didn't do any of the Aurora extraction, just dealt with the leftovers. I was a supervisor on the line, and when the alarm went up that it had been stopped, I investigated. I find James inside a storage vat, up to his shoulders in stinky fish guts and blind as a bat. The gut got in his eyes, you see. I had to walk him to the showers, strip his work clothes, and hose him down. When he saw me standing there, he turned bright red. After the shift ended, we went out for a Terra brew and talked. A year later, we were married. Better times. Better times. Dietrich is actually quite a lovely man, though lately he's been under a lot of pressure, which has made him rather bitter. When we first opened our business here in Akuchi Market, he was actually very helpful. Offered us advice. Didn't treat us like competition at all. I'm sorry, I just don't believe Dietrich is doing anything wrong paying off Neon security. We all do what we have to do to survive in this wretched city. Unfortunately, my husband is convinced that fighting City Hall is the way to solve all of Neon's problems. I think he's wrong. Okay, here you are.
Ah, das wollte ich nicht.
Have a good day.
I've had enough, Rosa. Sieghardt's gone too far this time.
Wo ist sie gerade? So, Seacard.
We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course.
Nah.
You've got something
I'm
for me?
feeling a little burnt out.
Nein.
I need a
Welcome to Sieghardt's Outfitters. Everything you need to explore the settled systems. If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Oh.
I'll bring the blend, you bring the chunks.
An artifact? Are you making this up? Well, like I said, if I don't have it, you don't need it. But I have a lot of other things you need. I've spent years perfecting my business by polling customers, measuring sales, and carefully adjusting my inventory to cater to just about everyone. So take your time, look around, ask me questions. You won't be disappointed. Haven't heard that one before, but I suppose I can't blame you for saying so. I have a lot of overhead in this place, and just between you and me, I am up to my eyeballs in debt. This is a prime spot, right next to the spaceport terminal, but the bills and the rent here are astronomical. Oh, yes, absolutely. It can be off-putting, I know. I picked up the habit from my mother. She was an extraordinary woman, made friends instantly wherever she traveled. Wise as well. If she was still alive, she would have told me to move my shop and cease paying these exorbitant fees.
Ja, dann.
You'd think that, right? Unfortunately, I'm barely scraping by. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with the details of my business all day. You're here to shop. So why don't you help out a poor shopkeeper like myself and buy something? I've been at this location for the last 8 years, but I've had a business in Neon for almost 20. As soon as Ryujin broke ground on the tower, I knew the city would start swarming with people, so I went all in. I love this business. It's my life. I can't imagine doing anything else. My dear mother would have said the same thing. The fees here are quite expensive, and I'm barely making ends meet. But I've always been quite stubborn. It has not always been easy, but I've been at this location for 8 years, and I won't give up. My business is my pride and joy. You won't find another store like mine on Neon, so please support my business with your patronage. You won't be disappointed.
Alter.
Yes, I'm aware of James's objections. That's partly why I don't go to the meetings. But if I don't pay Dexler, I'll lose my business. And what good would joining the Alliance do then? So, really, I don't have a choice here. If they want to fight Neon security, they can. But I need to protect my livelihood. It's fine in theory, but this isn't New Atlantis. It's Neon. Corruption is an institution here. What can a single alliance do to stop what's built into the foundation? I don't want to seem like a defeatist, but frankly, it feels like a waste of time.
Okay, jetzt
Owen Dexler is head of Neon
wissen wir schon mehr.
Security, but he is less concerned with crime than he is siphoning money from honest
Wir
businesses.
können ihn umbringen.
But it's not just him.
Okay.
All of Neon
Wir
is
könnten alle
corrupt.
umbringen.
The only way to survive is to give in to their demands.
Alle einzeln.
Really? I didn't know that. But I suppose they used to treat me with respect until I started paying the protection. But they have to understand. I could lose my business if I don't pay Dexler's fees. And why is that? Rosa said that? I remember when her and James first started. They were very green. It was a different time. Okay, you've convinced me. I will stop paying Dexler his safety assurance fee.
Yippee, Schweinepaket.
And tell the Newells I will come to the next meeting. Maybe I will even bring some beverages and snacks. You can't stand up to Neon Security on an empty stomach.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Mann, Alter, du bist nervig. Was ist denn?
Thanks for taking time to chat. I really need a friendly ear right about now.
Oh mein Gott,
I
Alter.
received a message from Constellation, and it's given me a lot to think about. Not at all. It's just a list of requests, but when you read between the lines, it's obvious my absence is causing issues. No, it's the first time. But the fact that they're reaching out, well, it's given me a lot to think about.
Okay.
You're not keeping me out here. I am. Just... Here, let me explain. Before I joined Constellation, I served for 8 years as the head of the Navigator Corps, until the UC decided to axe the department.
Okay.
If you want to help, I feel like I need to give you some background. Just bear with me.
Entschuldigung.
It was a branch of the United Colonies Navy, a small fleet of ships outfitted for galactic exploration. Basically, a military version of Constellation.
Okay.
Had we notched some significant achievements, I'd agree with you. You see, the top brass demanded press-worthy discoveries to justify the spending, and money was tight after the war. Shutdown was inevitable. At the end of the day, I was in charge, so the blame obviously fell on my shoulders. Seriously? The Colony War, of course.
Ja.
You know,
Natürlich,
that little
Entschuldigung.
incident that caused the death of thousands of decent men and women as they squabbled over border disputes. That war.
Ah.
Yeah? You once told me that you favored the journey over the destination. So I'm hoping you'll understand what I'm trying to say. I failed because I was more concerned about exploring the stars than pushing a pencil. Because of my lack of foresight, all I ended up with was a shattered division and a bunch of excuses.
Okay.
That's just it, though. Did I push too hard? Did they shut us down because I wasn't quietly sitting at my desk approving meaningless memos? We'll never know.
Ja, we never know.
Well, that brings us to this message now, doesn't it? Call it whatever you want. My drive, my initiative, my optimism. It's been my greatest strength and my worst nightmare. It elevates me to these positions of authority, but all I want to do is explore, not sit and make sure the accounts are balanced.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Ja,
If
jetzt
it's
verstehe
obvious
ich
to
dich,
you,
genau.
imagine how obvious it is to someone like Barrett or Mateo. Oh, they must be itching to replace me by now.
Barrett ist ja nicht da,
Damn
oder?
it. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Oh, here you are trying to help me and I'm yelling at you. You have to understand. Once Aja retired, I lost the only person that gave a damn.
Dann bin ich jetzt.
Look, it's clear that you have feelings for me. It's just... I've never had time for this sort of thing in my life. Please, it's not you. It's me. I'm just not
wurde
ready
gekorbt.
to get that
Das
close.
schmerzt ein
I
bisschen.
can't. Not now. But thank you for being there and listening.
Ja?
It helped. It really did.
Nein, alles in Ordnung.
It'd be nice to get away from clubs.
Ich muss kurz
Don't
weinen
worry.
gehen.
I'll stop making the payments to Drexler immediately.
Ich will nicht mehr. Gut. So. Tränen weggewischt. Jetzt geht's los. James.
I hope to God helping the strikers do. Well, I'll be. And all you had to do was talk to him?
Ja.
Meanwhile, I was so damn stubborn, I made this whole thing harder than it had to be.
Given you almost went blind, working with half a kilo of fish cuts in your eye. Yeah, I agree.
And I'd still be wandering around that storage vat helpless, if not for you. Thanks for your help on this. The Merchants Alliance is finally united. I don't know if we'll ever get a fair shake in the city, but it's a start. I had to chase more zone hits.
Everything you could possibly want.
Okay, der Showdown.
Laura over at Kelp. She's too good for me.
So Leute. In der nächsten Folge. In der nächsten Folge sind wir beim Showdown dabei. Also habt noch einen schönen Tag und bis dann. Tschüssi.